In this video, I'm looking at the newly released, at least in Canada, Optimus G. And just for size comparisons, next to it is a Samsung Galaxy S3. So physically, they're pretty much the same. This is an old Optimus LTE from LG. Next up, we've got my Xperia S. And lastly is an old Xperia Arc. So as you can expect from a candy bar phone, they're very similar. Unfortunately, I don't have a Nexus 4 to compare it with, but just to start off, we're going to go through some of the specifications and why you may want to choose the LG Optimus G over the Nexus 4. To start off, I'm going to look at the specifications between the Optimus G and the Nexus 4 in case you're trying to decide between them. The Optimus G is shorter and thinner, but it is heavier by about 6 grams. It's got quad-band HSPA versus pentaband unlocked HSPA, but it does have LTE for faster speeds. Rogers also has an exclusive 2600 MHz version for even faster LTE speeds. They both have 4.7-inch 1280 by 768 True IPS displays with Gorilla Glass 2, and the Optimus G also has Gorilla Glass on the entire body, front and back, so it is scratch proof. I haven't been able to confirm that for the Nexus 4, but it's supposed to have a glass back. Internally, they both have Snapdragon S4 Pro quad-core processors at 1.5 GHz, the Adreno 320 GPU, and 2 GB of RAM. The biggest difference is in internal storage. The Optimus G has 32 GB, while the Nexus 4 is available in 8 and 16 GB configurations, and neither of them have a microUSB slot for more storage. They both have 2100 mAh batteries, rated for 15 hours of talk, but the Nexus 4 does have longer standby. Camera-wise, they both have 1.3 megapixel front cameras with 720p video and 8 megapixel rear cameras with 1080p video. The international version has a 13 megapixel rear camera, but megapixels on such a small sensor doesn't really matter. They both have NFC, read and write, and it's secure, so in the future you'll be able to use it for mobile payments and wallets, etc. The Optimus G has dual band Wi-Fi, so 2.4 and 5.0, so 802.11a. They both have Bluetooth 4.0 and a microUSB slot on the bottom for mass storage mode, USB host mode, and charging. On the Optimus G, you can use an MHL adapter for HDMI out, and on the Nexus 4 it uses the new slim port connector for HDMI out, DisplayPort, VGA, etc. So it is a different adapter. Both of them also have Wi-Fi Direct, so Miracast, for video streaming and audio. The one difference is the Nexus 4 also has wireless charging using the key standard from Energizer. GPS, the Optimus G has assisted GPS, synchronous GPS, as well as support for GLONASS in Europe. The Optimus G ships with Android Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0, and LG Canada at least has promised an upgrade to Jelly Bean in early Q2, while the Nexus 4 ships with Jelly Bean 4.2 immediately. Pricing wise, it's $599 no term, or $129 on a 3-year, and the Nexus 4 is available directly from Google Play for $309 Canadian or $359, and this is a subsidized price because for countries that don't have the Play Store and can't buy directly, the price is a lot higher. Just going to walk through a bunch of web pages with more information about the LG Optimus G. Here's the official press release from LG Canada. It's got all the different functionality, specifications, etc. LG Canada is hosting a party today for the launch on November 8th. On Rogers, you've got the 2600 MHz version for faster LTE speeds, and they have a quick video just to show off the speed tests on it. So there you've got 6300 versus 4100. So it is a bit faster. Next up, just some info on Miracast. So Miracast uses Wi-Fi Direct, and it allows you to stream HD video and stereo sound wirelessly to anything that supports Miracast. So all the LG TVs coming out in 2012 support Miracast, a bunch of Samsung TVs support it, and if you want, you can buy a dongle to wirelessly receive it. it's similar to the receiver for Intel wide-eye wireless display. The LG Optimus G does have this one feature that I'm going to use to demo the phone. It allows you to connect your phone wirelessly or use a USB cable and actually see the phone on your computer. It's called LG On-Screen Phone. And it's going to search for the phone. You can either connect through Wi-Fi or through a USB cable. Let's see. So there it is. And then on the phone itself, you're going to get a dialog box to connect or accept. And once you've accepted, you can see your phone screen on your computer. Everything works except for the video player and the camera. And I'm just going to walk through all the settings. So on-screen phone's connected. Just going to go into settings. First off, we've got Wi-Fi, so it is dual band. Bluetooth 4.0. Data usage is a part of Ice Cream Sandwich. Call settings. Under more options, this is the first time I've seen file networking on a phone. You can actually wirelessly share your files directly from Windows Explorer. So just by going into Windows Explorer and typing in the device name or the IP address of the phone. Share folders, and then set a password. Miracast allows you to wirelessly, using Wi-Fi Direct, stream your phone screen to another device, or to actually use a second screen, so a separate screen on here and then a separate screen on your TV. So it's good for things like PowerPoint presentations. NFC and VPN mobile networks, all standard. Under sound, got the different profiles, Wise ringtone, so if it detects noise, it'll actually make it louder, and dial pad and touchscreen. Under display, auto rotate, screen timeout, widescreen. This is similar to Samsung's functionality. It uses the front-facing camera, and if you're looking at the phone, it won't put it to sleep. Aspect ratio, font size. This will actually expand apps that don't fit in the phone screen or don't have native 1280 720p resolution. Front key light are the lights at the bottom here, as well as the notification LED, which is up here. So you can turn it on and off. Next up, we've got the home screen. So animations, wallpaper, and natively you can actually have landscape support. So I'm just going to turn the phone sideways, and there you go, native landscape support without having to plug in a dongle, which is nice. Alright, just to turn it back. Lock screen, all the same stuff. You can choose your shortcuts, the lock timer, power button, vibrate, gestures, move home screen items, tilt, flip the phone over, pause the video. Storage wise, you've got 25 gigs accessible out of 32, and this is on the Bell version that I'm reviewing. Power saver allows you to turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Apps are all the apps you've installed. Quad-core control will actually slow down the processor to save battery life. Accounts in sync are Facebook, Gmail, etc. Location services, GPS. Security, encrypt, unknown sources. Language and input, you've got multiple keyboards, spelling corrections. The LG keyboard has a whole bunch of options as well. Besides all the different languages, you have multiple keyboards. Unfortunately, you can only access it through the settings panel, which is annoying. So QWERTY keyboard, handwriting, as well as shape writer, which is gestures, similar to swipe. handwriting style, pen thickness, backup and reset, date and time, accessibility, PC connection. This is where you can choose the type of connection. Charging only, MTP, tethering, LG software. The good thing about this phone is when you plug it in, the software is built in, and it'll actually, on Windows, it'll actually pop up a CD drive and allow you to install the software directly. So no hunting around for the LG software. It'll show up on the it'll show up as a USB stick, and then you can install it directly. And this is on-screen phone, which is allowing me to use this. Last is developer options. So USB debugging, just to show the software version on the phone. So it does ship with 4.04 and 3.021. LG Canada again has promised an update to Jelly Bean in early Q2. So just walking through the basic home screen, you've got all your options, adding widgets, adding applications. In the app drawer, you can sort things. You've also got search. You can sort by date, alphabetical order, app settings, and system settings. As well, you can also put up to 4 icons in the dock here. And it's also been rooted. And on this video, I show how to root at least the Canadian LG Optimus G using binaries restore method. So check it out if you want to root your phone. Now onto the phone itself to demonstrate some of the unique features that LG's included. So first up is Quick Memo, and what this allows you to do is to write directly onto the screen. So for example, instead of having to remember a phone number, you can just write it on the screen quickly. That's the number for Pizza, and then when you hit the overlay button, you go back to using your phone with that memo there. So if I go into the dialer, there's the number, and I can just dial it. Hit this to go back into editing mode. And then you can either save it with that whatever screenshot you have, or you can blank it out. And I'm just going to clear it. This is useful if you want to annotate things like browser pages or Facebook, or make fun of somebody with a picture. Anywhere where you can't pull down the notification, you hold both volume buttons, and that gets you into quick memo mode. So I'm just going to draw on the Android guy. Draw some feet, bigger feet, and then give him some hair. And then you can save this image. It's again a screen capture, so if you're doing it on a photo, it's not the full resolution photo, but it is just a screen capture, 1280 by 768, or you can blank it out. Okay. Just exiting in a quick memo. The next function that LG has is something they call Q slide. Oops. So if I go into Q slide, these are 720p high 4.1 MKVs, and it does support it natively. And as I'll show you, playback is very smooth, no issues thanks to the quad-core processor. You can just scroll through. I just don't want to play too much of this because YouTube will flag the video. Turn down the sound, but it does work. When you hit this Q slide button, what will happen is the video's there, and you can control the transparency, and then you can go about using your phone with that video in the background. And go back. So if you want to capture an image, let's say I go right to image there, and then I want to see this while I'm working, or draw on it, and then there's the video. Sorry about the reflection. The other thing that you can do, which is the first time I've seen this, is you're watching a video, you can actually zoom live on the video up to 5 times. So there's the video, and I'm zooming in, zooming out. And it's neat because let's say somebody has some text and you want to read it, you can zoom in, pause it, scroll to wherever you need to. So for example, I want to scroll and see the logo. So, very cool little function. And of course, everything you can still access quick memo by holding both buttons. And then you can do a screen capture. You can also do a screen capture with power and the volume down and power buttons, just like any other Android phone. As well, you've got a bunch of other functions, zooming, scaling, as well as sharing, of course. So this is DLNA sharing. And then you've also got mirror cast, which allows you to mirror your display or have 2 separate displays, like when you're doing PowerPoint. Unfortunately, I don't have a Miracast TV or a Miracast dongle, so I can't show that to you right now. And I just want to show this file, just to show that it does do subtitle playback.
The government collapsed.
So again, audio does work. I just don't have it on because I don't want the video to get flagged. But there you go. And brightness controls. There's also a whole bunch of different options, so subtitles, font size, position, font. You've got share, trim, brightness, delete, and details. So just to show that it is an MKV file, 1280 and 1.26 gigs. So video playback is very, very fluid, and everything looks beautiful on the IPS display. Next up we have the camera. So like most Android cameras, front-facing, rear-facing camera, LG's also included what they call the cheese shutter. So you can actually say these words,
Kimchi, smile, LG, whiskey.
and if you say these words, it'll actually take a photo. So for example, if I say cheese, there it focused and then it took the photo. So it's neat if you want to do self-portraits or anywhere where you don't know where the button is, you're trying to hold up the phone. Turn that off. This is called time catch shot. So what this does is when you turn this on and you press the shutter, it'll be constantly taking photos, and when you press the shutter, it'll have taken photos before you press the shutter, so one and like a few seconds before, as well as after. So if you have something fast moving and you don't know when it's going to be there or in your field of view, just hit it and it'll capture a whole bunch of series of videos and then allow you to choose the best one. So for example, if I hit it, and then I'm going to be presented with a whole bunch of options at the bottom. So if I go into this, you'll see a whole bunch of photos at the bottom here, and you can choose which one you want to save. So by check marking it, you can save it or discarding it. There you go. And I'm going to discard all the photos. Just going to walk through some of the other functions. Normal HDR, panorama, continuous shot, and then all the usual options: flash, zoom, brightness, focus. It does have facial recognition, resolution, all the different scenes, ISO, white balance, color effects, timer, geotagging, the shutter sound, reviewing the photo afterwards, and reset. So that's the camera. LG's also done some simple but neat little tweaks to stock Android. So you've got this bubble unlock screen that actually shows what's underneath. And beyond making folders like you can do with other Android phones, if you select an icon and then drop it again, and you'll get that purple paintbrush, which allows you to double the icon size. Giant Facebook. You can do this to any icon, or you can actually change it to whatever you want. So Facebook will now be F. In the app drawer, you can do things like rearrange and then make small or large icons, just to show more applications. So just some simple and quick tweaks to make Android easier to use. Overall, it's an excellent phone thanks to its hardware specs, and definitely one to consider, especially if the LG tweaks caught your attention. It's got great build quality. It's very, very solid. The Gorilla Glass on both sides ensures you'll never need an ugly case or have to worry about scratches either. LG's made some nice touches with quick memo and Q slide, as well as the native MKV playback, HDMI output, and video zooming and built-in subtitle support. If LTE is make or break for you, I'd definitely consider this over a Nexus 4, though Jelly Bean does have its advantages. So hopefully LG can deliver the update sooner rather than later, since past users have been jilted by LG's slow or non-existent updates of their previous phones. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching and subscribing.